Artificial is a word we'll be hearing more and more in the future. Artificial intelligence, artificial meat, and now we have artificial wombs. Yes, you heard that right, we now have artificial wombs. As soon as I saw this story, I knew how to make a video on this. Welcome to NBD Reels and thanks for joining me again for another episode. Before we get into this episode, if you are watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do hit that subscribe button and please make sure to turn notifications on so that you don't miss any future uploads. Also, this episode will be available as an audio on whatever podcast platform you use. An artificial womb is scientifically known as ectogenesis, and this term was coined all the way back in 1924. This term basically refers to a pregnancy that develops outside of the uterus. Researchers from all across the world have been looking into the potential of artificial gestation for decades now. One of the most successful teams to do this was a team of researchers from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. The team was able to raise a lamb for 4 weeks in a synthetic womb, which was in fact a giant plastic bag. At the time, the lamb appeared to develop regularly during their 4 weeks outside their mother's wombs, exactly as they would have been inside. In 2021, a team of Israeli researchers was successful in developing a normal mouse embryo for 11 days inside an artificial uterus. What makes this remarkable is because the full gestation period of a mouse is around 20 days. Artificial shock and lamb gestation has also been tested by Australian researchers. Technological advancement has allowed for the survival of many infants born at 22 to 23 weeks of gestation. The bulk of them, however, suffer from chronic illnesses like lung disease and cerebral palsy, and this is something that medical researchers believe can be reduced by the use of an artificial womb. So is this the future of human production? Let's take a look at South Korea. Back in 2020, the Asian nation managed to break its own record for the world's lowest fertility rate, according to official figures released at the time. The country has struggled to reverse its years-long trend of declining births. Some of the most fertile countries can be found on the African continent. To date, the top 10 birth rates across the world are occupied by African countries. However, on the lower end of the scale, some of the countries that occupy the list are Monaco, South Korea, Andorra, and Japan. Fertility rates amongst women and men are always a big talking point for every nation around the world, and they have taken a nosedive in recent years, and this has become a concern in some parts of the world. Most countries around the world have targets they've set themselves in regards to birth rates, and one key aspect that affects birth rates is a low fertility rate across the population of any given country. It's a real possibility that in the near future that countries will certainly use advancements in technology and use something like the artificial womb to combat declines of their populations. Tesla CEO and billionaire Elon Musk recently expressed concern about population collapse across the world. He said at the time that if there are not enough people on Earth, there won't be enough on Mars. Many people responded with the advice for Musk included the use of synthetic or artificial wombs that could potentially develop a fetus outside the human body. The ethics surrounding ectogenesis to reproduce humans is something that is always going to be up for discussion. As you can imagine, this technique of using artificial wombs has its critics, and it also has people from all walks of life who are pro the use of this technology. The main argument for this wide use of this technology is the difference it would make to babies that are born premature. The definition that is recognised around the world of what a premature baby is, birth of a baby before 37 weeks of pregnancy. Globally, 1 out of 10 babies are born premature, and globally it is reported that 140 million babies were born in 2021. Based on this number, it means 14 million babies across the globe were born premature. Of course, we have to consider that the severity of the premature births will differ. Some of these premature births are going to be fatal, and it is these fatal premature births that are always at the forefront of the ethical arguments when the use of artificial wombs is discussed. What do you think about the ethics behind the use of artificial wombs? Please let me know in the comment section below. So as we inch closer to perfecting this technology, it's certainly possible that we will end up having a Matrix-like situation where humans are no longer required to reproduce other humans. Of course, that is a bit of an extreme statement. However, I do believe that this kind of technology can certainly help countries across the world and help people on an individual basis. Take a woman who cannot, for any given medical reason, naturally carry a fetus for the full term of the pregnancy. Could it be that we'll see a woman initially conceive and then have the fetus transferred to an artificial womb, and the expecting couple could visit the fetus at the medical centre at which the artificial womb will be located? Or another scenario is that this process can be undertaken from the comfort of your own home and have a medical professional visit you at regular intervals during the pregnancy, as they would if the woman was carrying the baby in her natural God-given womb. Who knows? But I'll leave you with that thought. Until the next episode, thanks for watching.